The Canadian Card Collector here, and welcome back to day 540 of Daily Deck Review. And the deck that we're taking a look at today is the Medallions playing cards from Theory11. So, with no further ado, let's take a look and see what we get. So, as we can see, it is in a matte brown finished top box, like a darker brown. And there was some gold foiling on the top box. It is slightly embossed, you can feel a little bit of the texture of the top box. Then you got the Medallions, like a little logo there in the middle, which says Medallions. High quality playing cards. It says Theory11 and made in the USA. On one side it says made in the United States of America. On the other side says produced by Theory11, and you kind of got this kind of more like a stamp style kind of little border going around either side. On the bottom you got Theory11 logo, Circuit Trouble, and premium playing cards Theory11. On the back, we'll sneak peek up that back sign, adds a little bit more embossing. But the seal, you got a white stamp style seal with some more gold there on it, and it just says Theory11 there with little cross keys design. On the top, you've got more gold foiling there. Now we press down that seal, grab our hand dandy card opener, and this is one of Theory11's more like older decks that they've made. Yeah. And on the top flap here, you got that more foiling there with a little circle with a little keyhole in it. The inner top flaps, just that matte brown finish. Take the cards out of the box. Inside, oh, I guess the cards are kind of stuck in the box there. Anyway, on the inside of the top box is that kind of more matte brown finish. Nothing too crazy or fancy going on inside there. But now that we took a look at that top box, as always, we'll take a look at the cards. And we'll start with the back design here. So we have a pretty nice back design there. So it is a mirrored back design with the standard white border going around there, and it's like a brown and silver metallic back design, which I was not expecting there. So it has like a silver kind of like a little silver shine to it there. You got that kind of circle design there. You got some like flowers on each of the corners there. And you got the little crossed keys design there in the middle. It's a little flowery kind of pattern there. You got that kind of stamp style, kind of a little border design there on either side. And then you got the standard white border. And it is mirrored, so you flip it over. Same design in both the directions. And I'm actually really digging this back design now. I should open these a lot sooner. These are actually like pretty nice back design there. I wasn't expecting it to be silver metallic ink, which is a nice little touch. But now for the cards here. We start with the first Joker. It says Joker there in that custom font. It says The Joker. You got a little circle design there with a little shield with the cross keys. It says Made in USA there. And then you got a second identical Joker there. And they have that silver metallic ink. I'm pretty sure that's silver. Let me just... Yeah, it kind of looks like a silver metallic or like a very light gold. But it looks pretty silver to me. There. And then you got that custom Ace of Spades there with that silver metallic ink again. It says Medallions made in the USA. Then you got a little spade there, a little cross key design, some stripes. That kind of like flowery, kind of like leaf design there. And then the rest of the spades are just standard, nothing like too crazy going on with the suits there. And then you got the court cards here, Jack, Queen, and King. Jack, Queen, King of Spades here. And they are actually slightly custom there. You got like the same kind of like standard shape to the court cards, but they got that slightly custom, like slightly changed details on them. Their faces are slightly different. There they have slightly different items in there because they got like keys. There's kind of like a key kind of design on each of the court cards there, and then the custom colorway. So they got that kind of like silver, red, and black kind of colorway. And you got the diamonds, which are just standard diamonds, nothing too crazy there. And then we got the same thing for the court cards there, where they have like the keys in their hands, and they got that custom red and silver kind of colorway there with the custom faces. And that same kind of design for the court cards for the Jack, Queen, and King of Clubs there. That same kind of styling. And then the clubs are just standard. And then lastly we got the hearts, Jack, Queen, and King of Hearts. There, the court cards. Once again, that custom colorway with the custom faces there with the key kind of design on the court cards. And then the hearts are just standard. And then lastly, the last two cards in the deck, you got a double backer of that back design. And then you got that classic Theory11 ad card. But now let's look at the cards. For the handling, they are made in the United States of America from the United States Playing Company. So they are just that kind of like air cushion finish style. So straight out of the box, they are a little bit on the stiffer side, so they have to be slightly broken in, but they still spring pretty nicely. You have to put a little bit of like pressure into like flexing them to get them to spring, but they're still pretty smooth. There. And they fan fantastic. No issues with the fanability. Nice spread there. See all the numbers. And they feel pretty nice in the hands. There. So overall, you have like no real issues with the handling, as you can see here. It seems to be working pretty nicely. And they're not like overly slippery for like a brand new deck. Like usually when you take them out, they want to be like super slippery. Like some of the decks I take out are like super slippery and want to slide on my hands like constantly. But these actually like kind of stay like packaged together pretty nicely, which is nice. But they're still like super like smooth and like slidey at the same time. There. So overall, I gotta say, they handle fantastic and they feel fantastic. They're like softer kind of like feel to the edges there. And they look fantastic. They love that back design there. A great back design. Should have opened these a lot sooner than I have, because I've had these for a while now. And I wasn't expecting that silver metallic ink on the back there, which was a surprise, which makes me like the deck even more. There, I love when they use silver metallic ink, because you always see gold, but you never see like silver too much for back design, which is pretty nice. And then for the faces, from the 2 to the 10 is pretty standard there. Well, I guess from the ace to the 10, except for that custom ace of spades right here. And then you got the slightly custom court cards there, where they all have some kind of like keys in their hands or medallions and stuff. Then they got that custom silver and red colorway. But other than that, it's pretty standard of a deck of cards there. So I guess there's not much more to say. So this has been day 540 of a daily deck review. And this has been the Medallions playing cards from Theory11. And I'm the Canadian Collector signing out. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.